rifles and handguns. Powerful tools with a rich and storied history. Their origins can be traced back centuries. But a firearm of any kind isn't able to leave its mark without ammunition. For over 150 years, the Winchester brand has been synonymous with many of the most popular ammunition calibers in existence, not to mention some all-around classics like the Model 1873, otherwise known as the gun that won the West. Without a doubt, and for good reason, Winchester has grown into one of the most iconic brands in the ammunition world, and the reputation that follows the name has been hard-earned. Reliability, performance, quality, and innovation, all fitting characteristics for a brand dubbed the American legend. Today, Winchester manufactures ammunition for hunters and shooters, law enforcement officers, and is the largest provider of small caliber ammunition to the U.S. military. The commitment to excellence runs deep. From research and development efforts to the manufacturing processes, Winchester is committed to product quality and performance. As a world leader in delivering innovative products, the entire Winchester brand is built upon integrity, hard work, and a deep focus on loyal customers. And there is no better representation of those values than the state-of-the-art manufacturing operation located in Oxford, Mississippi, where some of the most technologically advanced manufacturing methods meet next-level innovation.
Well, let's talk a brief history of ammunition. You know, by definition, ammunition is a projectile that, together with its fuses, propelling charges, and primers, is meant to be fired from a gun. But ammo wasn't always fired from a gun. Early ammunition and the creation of bullets came long before the development of firearms. And projectiles were originally designed and created to be thrown from sling weapons. Stones that were shaped to be rounded or oval were the most widely used because of their perceived accuracy. So naturally, when the earliest firearms came to be in the mid-1300s, they were designed to accommodate these rounded projectiles. What followed was numerous advancements to the shape of projectiles, the materials used in the actual bullet, and the process of how the components of ammunition come together. Enter the invention of the self-contained cartridge. The first cartridges designed were rimfire by design, and followed up later by the centerfire design. A cartridge contains multiple components that make up the ammunition. The propellant, or powder, a primer that when struck ignites the powder, causing an explosive reaction, and the projectile itself, or the bullet. The invention of the cartridge was pivotal for many reasons. It increased the performance of bullets, it decreased the lag time between the trigger pull and the discharge, and it allowed for quick loading of multiple cartridges into a firearm at the same time. The very first centerfire cartridge created by Winchester was the 4440, or as it was known in 1873, the 44 WCF. Because of its independent and replaceable components, this cartridge was a first of its kind, reloadable cartridge, giving it a huge advantage over the one-and-done rimfire designs that preceded it. And so began Winchester's dominance in the years that followed. The innovations Winchester brought forward revolutionized the ammunition world time and time again. And in 1895, through the introduction of the first ever commercially available smokeless powder cartridge, the 30 WCF, or as we now call it, the 30-30 Winchester, well, that changed the world. The use of smokeless powder and a metal jacket over lead design that helped guide the bullet laid the groundwork for nearly all of modern bottleneck design sporting cartridges. And as they say, the rest is history. To this day, Winchester continues its pursuit of game-changing products.
Winchester Life is brought to you by Winchester Ammunition, the American legend. Winchester Repeating Arms. Winchester Safes. Birchwood Casey. Walkers. Folds of Honor. Shoot United. Make the shooting sports part of your life. This segment of Winchester Life is brought to you by Winchester Safes. Oxford, Mississippi. Opened for operation in 2005, what's simply known as Oxford is Winchester's primary centerfire and rimfire ammunition hub. One of the most impressive ammunition manufacturing operations in the world, Oxford builds millions of cartridges every year. Inside the walls of Oxford, some of the most talented people and advanced manufacturing technologies come together to create innovative products that exceed customer expectations. The product development cycle is a huge undertaking and an all-round team effort, and the team at Winchester knows how to develop world-class products that work. Building centerfire cartridges is not an easy task, and there are countless unique calibers available to the world. Many of the new products that Winchester designs begin their journey to market as an idea on paper, a culmination of thoughts from best-in-class engineers, sport shooters, hunters, and machine operators. This collaborative effort provides the framework necessary for a new caliber like the 6.8 Western, or an advanced bullet for deer hunting like Deer Season XP. As a result of many research and development sessions, a plan is set in place for a new product, complete with unique design parameters, product performance requirements, project timelines, and testing guidelines. This collaborative process has given way to products such as Deer Season XP, a wildly popular product line. Thanks to the unrivaled purpose-built performance of the entire Deer Season XP family and other enormously successful innovations such as the 350 Legend, year after year, Winchester continues its unrivaled leadership in design. Through purposeful innovation and a commitment to improving upon heritage calibers, Winchester advances the ammunition world more than ever before.
Regardless of what your passions are, whether it be competition shooting, hunting, or self-defense, Winchester has you covered. What I love about Winchester is that it's reliable. Every time I pull the trigger, I know that my gun will go off, which keeps my training consistent and my confidence high. My name is Michelle Viscusi, and I've been a professional shooter for 10 years. I have been with Winchester for the last 2 years, and they have supported my journey in competition shooting. It's amazing being with an iconic brand like Winchester because it gives me such a peace of mind at matches knowing that I'm shooting a quality product. If you're looking to start a lifestyle in the outdoors, I would tell you just get out and do it. A lot of people ask me, how do I shoot? How do I get into shooting competition? And the simple answer is just apply yourself. Getting out with your family and friends is really so refreshing, and it opens up your mind and soul. We're also addicted to our phones, and we really miss out on the adventure that awaits for us outdoors. I choose to live my life in the outdoors because it's all I've ever known. When I was younger, I joined the military. I've traveled all over the world, and for the last 10 years, I've spent most of my life shooting on different ranges all over the country. The importance of family and friends spending time in the outdoors is building memories that last. I will always remember the time that we took our kids to the range and they shot their .22 long rifle for the very first time. It was super exciting, the kids were so happy, and it's definitely something we can talk about for a lifetime. Being a part of the Winchester brand has given me tremendous opportunity to be a part of something bigger than just me. They allow me to share the love of the outdoors and the shooting sports with a wider audience.
This segment of Winchester Life has been brought to you by Walkers. This segment of Winchester Life is brought to you by Folds of Honor, providing life-changing scholarships to families of fallen or disabled military and first responders. Many of today's cartridges are made from brass. This brass arrives in Oxford in the form of a small raw cup. In its raw form, the cup isn't recognizable as a shell case. The anneal process is used to prepare the raw cup for what comes next, which is referred to as cold work. Cold work is the deep drawing operation that's performed on the raw brass. And through this process, the shell case begins to structurally take shape. With each draw, there is a further reduction of diameter to the cup, which also elongates the metal at the same time. The anneal and draw process is what allows a 1/4 inch cup of raw brass to become a full-size shell case, reaching over 2 inches long. Next, the drawn case gets headed. This is where the primer pocket and the head stamp get applied. Once the shell casing has been headed, the cannelure gets cut in. The cannelure is the part of the shell casing that your rifle grabs onto. After the groove is properly carved, the shell casing enters another annealing process. This time, it's referred to as a body anneal. In order to neck the shell casing down, or put shoulders on it, the metal must be softened in order to perform the work. The body anneal is what softens the metal, much like step 1. Once softened, work can now safely be performed to the body of the shell casing without it fracturing. After this anneal, the shell casing re-enters a reduction process. We now have a completed shell case, and it's off to capping. Capping is where the flash hole gets inserted, the primer gets seated, and the final seal takes place. Once capped, the shell case is ready to be loaded. The loading process takes a primed shell case and combines it with powder and the bullet. Bullets, or the actual projectiles, come to be through numerous different processes. Winchester uses many different lead types, from soft to hard, because the different types of lead affect the hardness of a bullet's core. Some bullets have elongated profiles, and others feature a more blunt and rounded profile. Monitoring and measuring for quality and consistency is paramount at Winchester. Each component that makes up a cartridge is built to exacting standards, the same finished length, weight, pressure, and velocity. The quality control process ensures unparalleled consistency across all the Winchester product line. Vancouver Island, one of the most diverse ecosystems in the world, where loggers have carefully picked through pockets of old-growth forests for years, clearing trails that have given hunters access to the island's deepest, darkest corners. For Casey Kiefer, it's a predator's playground. Wild rivers have carved a dangerous maze through the mountains, giving free roam to one of the highest concentrations of black bears on the continent. Casey's here in search of one of the biggest and baddest bears to call this island home.
It's really cool. Basically switchbacking up the sides of these mountains. You get up to a spot where you can actually see back down in all these slashes and try and glass for these bears. The bears come out in these slashes this time of year. They're feeding on the grasses and the fireweed and the berries and all that stuff. You try to catch them out in there when they're feeding. But the access back in here through these logging roads is just, it's amazing. It's amazing how the logging industry and the hunting industry with these bears all kind of work in harmony, and one kind of plays off the other. But the one inherent problem that you have here, just like you have with any coastal hunt really, is fog. I mean, we've been sitting here literally 5 minutes ago, we could see this entire thing. And now here we are 5 minutes later and we can hardly see any of it. So it's definitely a unique way to hunt, something that I've never done before. But this fog is just killing us right now. I mean, I'm watching it roll down this valley. This whole thing's gonna be covered in about 30 seconds.
On Vancouver Island, the black bear game can change as quick as the thick fog moves in. Casey's surrounded by the signs he came to see.
We got this bear right here in front of us. Somewhere he cut up in here. Trying to get a good look at him to see how big he is, but we're gonna sneak up just a little bit more, see if we can get a better look. I can hear him right there.
This segment of Winchester Life has been brought to you by Birchwood Casey. This segment of Winchester Life is brought to you by Winchester Repeating Arms. It's day 2 in Vancouver Island, and Casey Kiefer has already called one big black bear's bluff. He's back on the gravel to continue his trek through the tangled web of British Columbia backwoods.
So we got day 2 here. We just kind of crawled up through these trees on these logging roads through this timber, and basically the plan of attack, a lot like yesterday, is we just kind of roll down these logging roads. There's so much access from these logging roads. We're gonna roll these logging roads, get up to slashes like this, and stop and glass. I mean, that's pretty much how you guys do it.
Pretty well, yeah.
Tops the trees right there. Come on, let's go. Just be careful right here. Okay, get ready. Vancouver Island black bear. What an unbelievable stalk. Yes. Unreal. Stalking our way along this logging road. We came into this gut, and there was a beautiful black bear just working his way through this clear cut. We were able to see him from across, and we closed the last probably 150, 200 yards. In a hurry, he stepped up, came out of that clearing, and we finally got our Vancouver Island black bear. What an awesome, awesome deal. That was sweet. Right there. Look at the melon on that thing. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Thanks for everything.
Not many things get the blood pumping quite like a close encounter with a big black bear. But it isn't until the hunt is over that Casey can truly see the sheer size of the beast he's been stalking. Without a doubt, these bruisers rule the island. But today, one of Vancouver Island's best met his match. Living up to a reputation that takes over 150 years to earn is a core principle at Oxford and throughout the entire Winchester organization. The rich heritage and traditions that accompany the name are not lost on the hard-working folks responsible for advancing ammunition products. What sets Winchester apart is the ability to honor that heritage while being driven by a steadfast belief in innovation that exceeds customer needs. A world leader in delivering innovative products, Winchester is the American legend, a brand built on integrity, hard work, and a deep focus on loyal customers. Considered one of the world's leading ammunition manufacturers, Winchester has built its reputation on delivering innovative ammunition products, and there is no better representation of that innovation than the plant in Oxford, Mississippi. The people, the process, and the pride make Oxford a premier state-of-the-art facility right here in the USA. With a reputation steeped in tradition, Winchester has truly earned the moniker, the American legend, by delivering on the commitment to excellence in everything they do.